Hi, my name is Robert Shelley with Shelley Law, and my law firm assists dental associates with employment contract and independent contractor agreement issues. Today I'm going to talk about productivity calculations in dental associate contracts. So what are kind of the most common ways that a dental associate will be compensated? First, if you are a dental associate, you need to first identify, are you an employee or an independent contractor? I find in the dental industry, for whatever reason, many people are paid as an independent contractor, so you get a 1099 at the end of the year. So identify what type of employee or whether you're an employer or an independent contractor first. Next, as far as compensation, the dental industry normally will either pay an hourly rate, so just how much you work for the employer, you get paid that amount. A daily rate is probably the most common for dental associates, so you would just agree to whatever one day of work would be, and then you would just get the daily rate for that. You could have a guaranteed base, so obviously you just work a full-time schedule and you get a guaranteed base. It's paid out in normal pay periods. Or there could be some kind of net collections model. And a net collection model would be basically any money that the dental office would collect based upon your personally performed services. Then the dentist would get a percentage of that. That percentage can vary. Usually it's somewhere between 20 to 30%. And then what needs to be, I guess, kind of taken into account if you're on a net collections model would be there may be services that you perform that you will never get paid for. Either the insurance decides not to cover it, there's a payment plan, and the patient just flakes out and doesn't pay it. So there will be some kind of bad debt associated with all of the production that you provide that's not collected. Usually somewhere between 5 to 8% would be like a normal amount that would be written off that you wouldn't receive if you're in a net collections model. Now, most of the time it's not up to the dental associate as far as what kind of compensation model they are on. The office is simply going to tell them this is how we pay our dental associates. Now, if it is a model that you're not happy with, certainly you can offer an alternative, but you need to think about your situation. Hourly, daily rates, that would tend to be more towards an independent contractor who's not working full-time. If you're on a guaranteed base, it almost always means that you're a full-time employee. And then as far as net collections goes, that could go either way, really. One thing you need to take into account, which does happen, is you cannot enter a position if it's net collections from the jump. So what do I mean by that? As the dental associate, it takes time to build up a practice, usually 18 months for a practice to kind of reach maturity. And so if you're paid purely on net collections, unless this office is just absolutely slammed and there's guaranteed volume for you to kind of like hop in and have a full schedule immediately, which is very rare. If you're paid on net collections, there's going to be a long period of time where you're not going to receive that much money, especially in the first, I would say, 1 to 3 months. The safer route is for the dental associate to get paid a guaranteed amount. I would say anywhere from 6 to 12 months would be the safest way, and then add in language that states there's a productivity incentive, meaning if you were to make above a certain amount, you would get a percentage of that. That would be the safer route than just going straight into net collections. Think of it this way. If you're waiting, or if the practice is waiting to get insurance money, that can sometimes take up to 90 days for when a service is given before they will get paid. And so you could be working for 6 weeks before any of the insurance money comes in. Now, in the dental industry, obviously if you're in cosmetic dentistry, they're mostly paying out of pocket, so the money's there immediately. But you just need to assess kind of what's the patient population, what type of things that you're currently doing in order to determine how much of it is cash pay. It's just, I would say, a risk if you go right in to a pure productivity model without having any kind of guaranteed base floor. Another thing, and this happened a few months ago when I was reviewing a contract for a dental associate. The practice brought in several dental associates simultaneously and essentially made them kind of fight for patients. And so the volume was like almost nothing for some of the people. And they were in a contract that they couldn't terminate without cause before a 1 year period. So they're kind of like in a contract they can't get out of. The volume is so low, they're making almost no money. There was an exclusivity provision, so they couldn't work anywhere else during the term of the contract. It was a mess. Obviously, they didn't come to me before they signed it. It was after the fact. But these are all kind of things that the dental associate needs to take into account before they sign a contract. You absolutely do not want to get locked in long-term to a contract you can't get out of, and you're on pure production or net collections. It's a recipe for disaster. So anyway, that's just kind of a brief breakdown of compensation models for dental associates. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Or if you'd like to discuss a contract with us, you can reach us through our contact information listed below in the description. And I appreciate you watching the video. All right, thanks. Bye.